Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a kind of eyeshadow palette first impression. Oh my gosh, I was choking on my own saliva. That was a fun experience. But today we're going to be trying out the new Swing palette. I just thought of swingers. I mean, guys, literally that's where my mind went. Thinking of swingers. But anyway, so this is their brand new palette. It is a 9-pan palette. You've got 2 shimmers and the other 7 are matte. Is that right? 7, 9, 2. Yes. Anyway, we're just gonna go with it. She's a maths genius. She's a maths genius. I mean, really, she's definitely not a maths genius. I failed maths. Like, really, I did not tell my employers that when I should not say anything further about that. Anyway, guys, this palette is very summery. It's not what I would probably call autumnal, but who gives a shit? I mean, really, who cares? You get a mirror with this palette. The packaging is really, really pretty. It's got all of these feathers on it and they have like a hollow look when they kind of catch the right light. This palette cost me £3.77 and I got it from the UCANBE official store on Aliexpress. They did have some other shades as well. Let me just show you what they had. Okay, so they did release 3 of these palettes. So there they all are. Let's see. So they've got one which actually does look very autumnal. They've got the one that I got. And then there's a much cooler toned kind of version as well. That one's called Monroe Walk. Oh, I mean, really, guys. As always, we're going to be swatching the shadows and then I'm going to be doing some kind of eye look. And then at the end of the video, I can tell you what my thoughts are on the palette. What I can tell you is I think £3.77 is a super low price. So, you know, I'm thinking yes. By the way, guys, look at my shirt. Like, literally, Honey's got this for me. Is it just not the best Halloween shirt you've ever seen in your life? You're thinking, no, Anwen, I've seen better. Like, literally. But anyway, this is my Halloween shirt and I am just loving it right now. So what am I doing? I've distracted myself with my Halloween shirt. Okay, so guys, yes. Also, just before I get into the video, I did just want to mention as well that this palette like really reminded me of another palette that I've tried. It's by Beauty Glazed. This is the Sunset Dusk palette. This palette does look very similar to the Sunset Dusk palette by UCANBE. They both got these, you know, very kind of summery, like hot pinks, yellow, coral, peachy, brown kind of shades. So I think they're very, very similar looking indeed. Okay, so guys, I'm sure, you know what, I'm sure there was something else I was going to show you. You've already seen the bedspread, of course. Oh, by the way, I'm loving it. I feel like, Anwen, why did you not buy yourself a bedspread like a million years ago? Like, you've been living like a pauper. Like, literally, Anwen, you deserve better up in here. I mean, really. But anyway, guys, okay, so I'm going to begin with the swatches and then we're going to move straight onto the eye look. Oh my gosh, guys, look how pretty that shimmer is. It's like, it's this one here. It's kind of like a rose gold kind of shimmer. Oh my gosh, but it's more like a peach gold. It's like a peach gold. And how good does it complement my top right now? Oh my gosh, it's a bit chunky, but I'm kind of liking it. So I'm going to swatch that one right here. Oh, guys, that is actually like really, really, really pretty. So it's like a hot peach and then it's got little like, it's got like glitters in it, but they don't look like glitters because it looks kind of metallic and it looks like, you know, wet look sheen. It's just like a perfect duochrome. That is absolutely sensational right now. What a great start we've got off to. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to swatch the other shimmer. Feels very soft. It feels less chunky than the first one. So that is what she looks like. She is like the first one, but a little less vibrant. And actually, now that I'm actually looking at them on my hand, this one looks much more like a pinky gold, whereas the first one is more of like a peachy gold. Both of them extremely beautiful, but the second one was a lot less kind of chunky than the first one. Okay, so these are the first 3 mats. They feel so soft, like, you know, sometimes when you dip your finger into an eyeshadow, it can feel a bit dry or a bit chalky. These are the opposite. They feel very creamy and very soft and silky, which is very promising. So I will, oh, wow, guys. Do you know what? That doesn't look like an absolute matte, just because I don't know, it almost looks like it's got a tiny bit of like satin-esque to it. It's actually very like creamy indeed. Look at this, guys. Oh my gosh, my vagina is so excited right now. You know I'm a fan of beauty. Oops, I almost said you know I'm a fan of beauty glazed in a UCANBE video. Oh, holy vaginas. You know I'm a fan of UCANBE. They did very kindly send me some of their fabulous products recently. Look at that yellow, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry guys. I'm just kind of distracting myself here. I can't remember which one I swatched. Okay, this one. You know, because they're so creamy, right? It's tough to know which one you swatched, because I've kind of swatched all of these and it doesn't really look like I've swatched them, because they don't feel like your typical kind of powder eyeshadow, if that makes sense. They almost feel a bit creamy, but I know they're not creamy. But anyway, guys, so these are the next 3 swatches. Swatch, swatch, swatch. So there we go. Have I done all of them? Like, I don't feel like I have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm missing one. Oh yes, maths skills are at an optimum level today, apparently. So I've got 1 more to go. So this one is a tan kind of camel shade. Camel vaginas. Do camel have vaginas? Like, I don't know. But anyway, so that's the final shade. I'd say they look like beautiful. I think if you're a fan of like hot pinks, peaches, like camel vagina kind of shades, I think this palette would really, really kind of appeal to you. Swatches like don't look extremely pigmented, but of course it's hard to kind of tell with the swatch. But what I can tell you is they feel sensational. They're creamy, silky, smooth, just fantastic. I'm just so excited right now. So without further, oh Shania, I've dropped the fucking palette. Okay, so without further camel vaginas, we're going to get straight into the look. So I've kind of prepped my eyes already. I've done like half my face right now. So we are going to begin with, I'm going to begin with the lightest camel vagina shade, just because I feel like, why not? Let's see, how pigmented is she really? Like, let's actually get into the nuts and crannies of this camel's vagina. Oh, no, actually, on second thoughts, let's not get into the nooks and crannies of this camel's vagina. Oh my gosh, if someone just switched on at that point, or you had like, you know, a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, someone just wandered in at that point, they'd be like, Sheila, what the feck are you watching right now? I mean, really, Sheila, what's going on in your mind? Like, literally, Sheila, we need to take you somewhere. Anyway, guys, okay, so Sheila, if you're watching, I apologise for that. So we're going to go in with this shade right here. Yeah, I feel like Cartman, you know, from South Park when I say yeah, which is why I say it, because it makes me laugh. Anyway, guys, oh Shania, oh gosh. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm just popping this all up in my crease. How's she looking? Oh my gosh, well, you can see there's definitely something there, which is really, really good, you know, because it'd be kind of sad if there was nothing there. So I'm dipping back in again. Just to mention as well, there's like 0 fallout. Like, you know, when you dip your brush in, I'm going to have way too much on my brush now, but can you see what I mean? These are like really bizarre. It just doesn't seem like your typical kind of powder formula. The #1 ingredient is talc, mica. Is mica just, I thought mica was talc. But anyway, there's silica in these shadows, which that would explain maybe why they're very smooth. Also, I forgot to mention that this palette is cruelty free as well, which is fantastic. Okay, I've got loads on my brush. Can you see that? I'm just going to knock a little bit of the excess off, and I am going to take this like right in as well. Okay, so I've got a little bit of fallout on the face there, but I think I'll survive, you know. So next I'm going to go in with the slightly darker Camel's Vagina shade. I need to stop saying that. These shadows are blending beautifully. I think they've got a really nice amount of pigment. I am in eyeshadow first impression heaven right now. I think this is going to be a good one, you know. I really, really do. Okay, so I'm just going to like buff that out. I'm going to add a little bit more. Tap off the excess. These eyeshadows are definitely behaving more like a cream as opposed to like, you know, a powder, which is really interesting. Also, do you like my new sign? I got that from Tesco today. It's a Halloween sign and it says, enter at your own risk. And I just loved it. Like, how could you resist that? And I think, oh my gosh, look at me. I'm becoming more and more like Nikki Tutorials by the day with this amazingly professional background. I don't even have any of my knickers hanging up on the radiator today. So I'm definitely progressing. You know what I mean, guys? With just a blending, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm going to change my brush because I feel like this one is a little bit big for the job at hand. So I'm going to actually move to this brush, which is very dirty. So I'm going to clean it. She is winning today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this. Okay, done. Okay, done. Oh, it still looks dirty, guys. Like, literally, look. Okay, right, so I'm not going to use that brush. Use this one instead. Okay, so next I am going to go in with this beautiful, it's kind of like a corally shade. It's absolutely gorgina, literally right now. So I'm just going to pop that again into the crease. Okay, so I don't feel like that's really like added a whole lot, probably because it is such a light shade. So next I'm going to go in with this. It's almost like a terracotta kind of shade. It's like a pinky kind of orangey. Oh, this one has a lot more kick-off as well, or maybe it's just the kind of brush that I'm using. I don't know. Who really cares? Nobody. Okay, so I'm just popping this into the crease again. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so next I'm going to change my brush. Won't you help me get the beat? Da 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 da, got the beat. Don't you help me get the beat? Da 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 da, Dr. Beat. We were listening to that in the car on the way back from Tesco, and I'm just like, yeah, doctor, I got this feeling deep inside my vagina. Oh, I'm going to stop mentioning vaginas. I'm going to go in with the hot pink. How could I resist the hot pink? I just don't know. So I'm going to go in with that. Just going to pop the, oh my gosh, this is nice. Look, can you see it there? Oh yes. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely gorgeous, guys. Look at this. That's really, really beautiful. I was getting a little bit like worried back there for a sec because I obviously started off with this shade, and then I went to this shade, and then I went to this shade and this shade, and I felt like they all kind of morphed into being like a very similar shade. So I'm really pleased that this hot pink is actually as hot, I was going to say, is my vagina right now. And then I thought, Anwen, you cannot be mentioning vaginas anymore. And also, your vagina isn't even that hot right now. So this is why I always prefer to do like my eyes prior to doing my foundation, because I feel like when you do your blending, like especially if your name is Anwen, I find that I can get really messy, like you know, around here, but that's all solved when I do my foundation, because I just like cut it, you know, with my sponge. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like go in with concealer or something today, because ooh, she cannot allow this situation to be happening. I'm gonna go in with the yellow, guys, like why not? Okay, so the yellow just seems to have taken on a, I'm going to kind of completely like dull down that beautiful hot pink shade. So I am not going to go in anymore with the yellow. I'm going to get like a tiny, oh no, that's a dirty brush, which I can't use because I'm too lazy to go and actually clean that brush. So I'm going to go in with this chocolate brown. I use this brush by Dusk. It's actually really fluffy and soft. Super, super cheap. And I just love it. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these shades do kind of... Oh, I've gone into the wrong one. I feel like a lot of these shades do kind of just kind of morph into being the same shade in a way, which is a bit disappointing. The shades are beautiful. Maybe just what I'm thinking right now is I don't know how versatile this palette will be. I feel like it would be one of those palettes, kind of like the Urban Decay Heat palette, where you would kind of end up with a very similar look like each time, you know. I have to go in with the shimmer next. I really want like a black or like a dark shade, you know, to like you go into the outer V, but I don't have one in this palette. Let me just try if I can just build up this chocolatey shade a little bit. I'm just gonna like pat it on. See what I mean, guys? It doesn't really like, I don't know, it doesn't blow your pants off. I'm not really liking the look, guys. You know, I just feel like all of the different shades have kind of morphed into being like the same. But do you know what? We're going to go in with this beautiful shimmer. I'm going to begin with just using my finger. And I'm just going to like pat that on. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay, now that it's on my lid, I can definitely see lots of little gold glitters. I don't know if you can see that, but you know what? It's actually just really brought the whole look to life. So I'm going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus onto my table. You're thinking, why are you spraying it onto your table, Anwen? Should you not be spraying it onto your face? Yes. I like spraying Fix Plus onto my table just because I find that it's the most economical way of using Fix Plus, so that you're not just wasting loads of it that just sprays off into the atmosphere, you know. So I'm picking up some of this on my brush and I'm just going to apply wet. I was going to say another thing about my vagina then. Okay, so let's have a look. Oh, guys, yes, bitch, yes. I'm liking it. I just wish that I had like a deeper shade, you know, to like really like make the whole crease a little bit more like sassy. Okay, so next I'm going to go under the eye and I'm going to go in with this shade here, the Terracotta kind of shade. And I'm just going to like pop this under. I just kind of like, I stamp it and then I blend it. Stamp and blend. Ooh, she got a little bit in her eye. Oh, I think it's Red Bull time, guys. Like literally, I need a little bit of caffeine today. And taurine, whatever taurine is. Someone told me that taurine comes from a bull's balls. And I believed that when I was a teenager, but I don't know if that is actually true. Does taurine come from a bull's balls? And I think because they've got a bull, you know, on the front of Red Bull, and it's called Red Bull, I just thought it made sense, but I'm questioning it a little bit these days. Okay, so I'm going to finish off getting a little bit of the hot pink, and again, I'm just going to like spritz it under the eye a little bit. Okay, so there we go, guys. Like, I'm also, do you know what? I can't resist. I'm going to put some of the hot pink back into the crease. I'm doing it. She is doing it. Oh, actually, do you know what? Right, in here, it doesn't look great, but, like, for some reason, like, yeah, in the mirror of the palette, like, can you see, if I could maybe show you what it looks like in the mirror of the palette, because, like, it's looking great. Can you see that? Maybe if I go here, can you see? Can you see? Oh, there you go, you can see. Like, it looks really good in the mirror in the palette, but for some reason, I don't really think it looks great when I'm just looking at the camera, which is, like, crazy. But anyway, guys, so there we go. I mean, really, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the other eye, and then I'll be back to give you my final thoughts on the palette. So I will see you in just a sec. Okay, so I've done the other eye now, and not very well, but I'm just a little bit like, oh, I just want a little bit more, you know, on the lid. So I was thinking, like, should I try maybe putting a bit of yellow on over the top? I don't know what it's going to do, but I just thought, well, it might brighten it up a little bit, you know, add a little bit of je ne sais quoi. So I'm just popping that on. I mean, okay. I mean, it's made it look a little bit like brighter, but I just feel like, I don't know, when I look at my look in the mirror, I'm liking it. Like, again, like, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, anyway, I'm not starting that whole thing again, but there's just something missing from this look, and I feel like it's a really solid kind of dark chocolate brown, or even a black, just something that could really like take this look to the next level. Okay, anyway, right, I'm gonna go back to just like finishing the look now. Okay, so I'm gonna do something that I've never done before, and it's probably way out of my skill set somehow, but I'm going to use the Steeler Glitter and Glow in the shade Gold Goddess. I'm going to just try and put it just on the like eyeliner section. This is really intimidating, but I'm going to give it a go, guys, because we've got to try new things and go outside of our comfort zone. So this is what she's up to today. Oh shit, oh shit, oh. By the way, I'm not liking my foundation today. This is the Max Factor Radiant Lift. I'm not liking it at all. Ta-da! So she is finished many hours later. So this is the final look. I did go in with the Steeler glitter, which I've completely covered up now, and oh my gosh, I always get this. Like, no matter what mascara I use, I always get like a stamp, a fucking stamp underneath my eye. And I feel like this eyelash, like in traditional Anwen style, is not fully stuck on, but this is the look. This is the look. There it is. It's nice. Like, I like it. I found the eyeshadows like supremely easy to work with. They blended out like no problem whatsoever. They had a nice amount of pigment, not the most pigment in the world, but a very like friendly amount. And I say friendly because they were just very easy to work with. They weren't like too like, wow, hello pigment. They were just like very nice. Like, they remind me a little bit of like Makeup Revolution kind of eyeshadows, but they did have a very soft, smooth texture, which I actually really liked. The only like criticism I would have of this palette is I just feel like it's maybe not the most versatile, but then again, it costs £3.77. The formula is actually really kind of exquisite, and I do like the shades, but I did find that a lot of the shades just seem to like morph into the other shade as opposed to add a new dimension, you know, to the look, which is what I want in a palette. I want to be able to take the look off into like smoky town, or take the look off into like grunge town, do you know what I mean? But I did feel like as I was adding on the shadows, I was kind of getting a bit more of the same, you know, which, you know, I mean, the palette costs £3.77, so I have to be relative here. Like, I have to like think of that fact, and I would definitely say that, you know, you could probably buy this palette, buy one of the other palettes, and then you've got two fantastic palettes that you could mix together, you know. So I'm going to just like say my final thoughts on the palette, because I could be here all day. are that I definitely think it's worth £3.77. I think the formula is very kind of beautiful. It's different to a lot of other like powdery eyeshadow formulas, particularly eyeshadow formulas that I've tried from Aliexpress. It's really, really nice actually. It's just, for me, as I said, it's just the versatility aspect that's making me hold back a little bit from, you know, unleashing my vagina out to the world. I mean, what? I don't know what I'm saying, but I would recommend it if you're like drawn to these shades and you think that you could really like get down and produce some fantastic looks. I would definitely recommend this palette to you, and I'm sure that the other two will hopefully be of like a similar quality. So, you know, if these shades aren't quite up your, I was going to say vagina, but I'm not going to say quite up your street, then I'm sure that it would be a rather safe bet to go for one of the other palettes. But anyway, I've had great fun trying this today. I feel like the look really complements my whole aesthetic today. I always feel like such a knob when I say the word aesthetic, because it's kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway guys, I am going to go. I'm going to leave you to the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, actually, before I go, UCANBE did send me this palette, which I was going to do the first impression of today, but I forgot I had it. But anyway guys, so this is the Rhythm palette, and I am going to be trying this one soon. This is what it looks like. It's very different to the one I've just tried. It's got this beautiful kind of silvery shade. It's actually got some really like beautiful shades here, so I'm going to be trying this one out next. And yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.